Hey guys, I hope you're having an incredible day. Today we're going to be going through all the VAPI settings so you can fine tune your agent to get the best results, as well as the top 2 voices that I would recommend that sound the most human. Because trust me, I've spent a long time looking for the best voices. I'll also be tossing in my current system prompt that I'm using. And to get instant access, all you gotta do is enter your information and you'll get an invite sent directly to your email, which will give you access to the No Code Nation. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. So on the main page, there's really not too much to configure. I usually set the model to GPT-4o, and then you can just add your knowledge base. Now this is just a high-level overview of how I currently format my knowledge base, right? So it's literally just question, response, and it covers a few main different topics like about the business, frequently asked questions, pricing, packages, troubleshooting tips. So this one's really short and sweet. It could definitely be much longer, but that's totally up to you. Now, in terms of transcriber, pretty much I have never touched this. So the provider is always DeepGram, the language is English, and the model is Nova 2. Now, if we hop into voice, there are 2 voices that I'd really recommend. So they're both by 11 Labs. The first one is Heather Ray, and then the other one that I've been really liking is Myra. So those are the 2 that I'd recommend. I set the model to 11 Turbo V2.5 because that's the latest and greatest. And then in terms of additional configuration, I usually just keep this on default. I've got little office noises, and then I'll turn on background denoising enabled. This just filters the background noise while the user is talking and usually results in better responses from the AI. And then I keep stability and clarity the same, and I optimize the streaming latency to 2. Now, in terms of functions, you can select which tools that you want to use. I've covered this in other videos, but I have one tool that checks the availability of my calendar, and then the second tool which books it into my calendar. And you could have so many more. You could have text, you could have pretty much anything that you can think of you could have here. Then we have enabling the end call function. So right here, I just have this turned to on, and then I have a bunch of different end call phrases, so you can read them all here. I'm good now, bye. You can end the call now. Now, in terms of the advanced settings, I turn on audio recording. It's the only one I have turned on. And then personally, I like to increase the wait seconds before the assistant starts speaking. I know some people like to have it turned down all the way to, 0.1 or even 0, just so that they get a faster response time. But I find this cuts off the clients when they're talking, and I just turn on smart endpointing. Now, for the stop speaking plan, I've actually increased the voice seconds just slightly to 0.3, and the reason for this is because we want to make sure that the person is actually speaking before the assistant stops. And then I've also set the back off seconds, which is the seconds to wait before the assistant will start talking again after being interrupted, to 1. Now, I haven't modified the call timeout seconds, but feel free to decrease the maximum duration of the call. And then the server URL is the webhook that you are using. So you can see here, this is the workflow that I have built out. This is where the webhook is triggered, and it's either going down one of 2 routes. So it's either going up to trigger a tool call, or it's going down if a call has been made and a transcript exists. And if that transcript exists, it's going to check if that call was answered. If it was answered, determine the interest level. And if they were interested, determine if they were qualified or not. And if they were qualified, did they book into a call or did they not book into a call? And then at the end, we take the transcript and we grab the qualifying questions, the objections that they had, some of the key sale insights, and then we update that contact within Go High Level, right? So you can see that's what's happening here. It's hard to see, but we have the automated follow-up sequence portion of this. And then once that call has been answered, it comes down into here, and following that same flow that I just explained is either interested or not interested. They are either qualified, not qualified, and booked or not booked. And the whole time we are updating them with different tags so that when we're in our pipeline, you can just easily hover over and see, where they came from, if they're interested, qualified. And then at the end of the call, you could get this information on the contact, such as, how many times we've called them, their call status, their interest level, their qualification status, a bit of on the business. So these are some of the qualification questions, right? So what's their business? What are their automation needs? How much monthly revenue are they doing? Some objections. This customer mentioned how much it costs, indicating a priority on affordability. What are their preferred solutions? So what are they looking to have automated? And then finally, you get the call summary, the call recording, and the call transcript. And then lastly, it pushes that to Google Sheets And within that Google Sheets, this is where you can create data dashboards and start to analyze the performance of your agent, address, any problems that the agent is facing, and fine tune it for future results. So in terms of client messages, usually I just keep tool calls and tool call results turned on. I don't really see the purpose in having anything else because of how post-processing the call afterwards. And then in terms of server messages, I have end of call report, which sends the end of call report, hang, which gives the ability for the agent to hang up, and tool calls and transfer call destination. So this just allows you to transfer, and all of these are server messages. So what's happening is it's going to send, hey, a transfer destination request was asked for to this server URL. So to our webhook. I keep voicemail message blank, and then I have the end call message set to have a great day. I have the idle message set to are you still there? And I keep this all the same. And then lastly, underneath analysis, for the summary, I added in this prompt to kind of fine tune the summary that is output. So summarize the call in a few sentences and trying to include the following details. So the monthly revenue, willingness to invest. So my qualification questions, because one of the things I noticed is that when it would get to these different routes, so for interest level and if they picked up or not, if you look at my prompt here, right, it's saying use the following criteria, either interested or not interested. But then what it's using at the bottom to determine that is the ended reason and the call summary. So the call summary is way less tokens than the full call transcript. So I'm doing it to save a bit, but at the same time, we want to still make sure it's accurate, and sometimes the summary is not accurate. And so that's why it's a good idea to input the fields that you might need when you are running it through the system. And so this system prompt will be in the community. And if you did get value out of this, I would really appreciate if you dropped a subscribe. It's free, helps support the channel, and allows me to continue making videos like this. And with that being said, I will catch you on the next one. Hope you have an incredible week. Peace.